Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to strap in your seatbelts, fasten those little seatbelts because we have an extreme video for you today. Whoa, what the hell am I talking about? I kind of don't even have an idea. At the same time, we have some major Nintendo Switch 2 leaks, updates, rumors, and I'm not just being facetious. This is really going to be a crazy video. So let's go ahead and get right into this one. You know, when I'm thinking about the Nintendo Switch 2 and all the features that it's rumored to have or that we're going to talk about today, I mean, a lot of it sounds cool. But there are some features from the Nintendo Switch that I think are just a little bit strange.
Hey, listen!
Nintendo, what the hell is going on here? What are we doing? Now that that is out of the way, we have some crazy Switch 2 leaks to cover today. And the crazy thing is, we are days away. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep the community growing. And let's just go ahead and get into this one. So, the day of the Nintendo Direct, or a day after, I can't remember right now. But yeah, probably the day of. Nintendo launched their brand new app, Nintendo Today. I think that might be what it's called, the Nintendo News app. And you know, Nintendo just doing Nintendo-ass stuff. They straight up just gave us the date for the Legend of Zelda movie. Like, this could have been a huge announcement in the Direct, but they're like, no, we'll just put it in this app. And I believe it's March 27th, 2027, or something like that. And this is very exciting. Now it is live action. Zelda is my favorite franchise of all time. I've played all the games, even the CDI stuff. I am a diehard fan. I'm going to support it. I hope I enjoy it, but I am very cautious. So today we have even more updates for that, and when I think about it, I'm pretty sure this is good news because it shows like the promise of what's going on, but let's just get into what I'm talking about. So Nintendo and Sony Pictures are planning a potential movie trilogy for Zelda, and I kind of like that, but let's go into some more of this. Movie industry insider Daniel Richman has claimed that Nintendo and Sony Pictures are planning a potential movie trilogy for Zelda. According to Richman, all major acting roles will be signed for 3 films planned over 6 years. So reading that makes me think this has promise, and what I'm like equating this to is basically the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but instead of it being the Lord of the Rings universe and the Lord of the Rings characters, it's in the Legend of Zelda universe with Zelda characters. That sounds freaking awesome, especially if they go with that more serious tone, and it's not like... Wind Waker is my favorite Zelda of all time, but I think Wind Waker only works, that kind of story, for something animated. So I was thinking live action if they're gonna do any game, do Twilight Princess, but this sounds like it's gonna be a brand new storyline. Now I wonder if we'll get games to coincide with these movies. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, this is a pretty promising Zelda movie update, at least in my opinion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's start getting into some Switch 2 news because we have quite a bit of it. First, let's talk about a potential game going to be shown off at the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. And I just got into this franchise last year. Yakuza Kiwami, I think that's the one that made an appearance on the Switch. It was my very first Yakuza game ever. I didn't finish it, but I got like 15 hours in. It's a lot of fun. And allegedly, that's going to be shown off at the Switch 2 presentation. A Yakuza game is possibly being shown in the Direct next week. I was browsing the OT for Pirate Yakuza on Reset Arrow, and a user commented saying Yakuza has its own 20th anniversary in December this year. Wonder what we'll get? To which Reset Arrow user, whatever, commented, a certain entry has its 10th anniversary this year too. And they're talking about Yakuza 0. So then after that, he only commented direct and concise with a D and C bolded. People are taking this as something from RGG and possibly Yakuza 0 related being announced on next week's Switch 2 Direct. So I don't know what the hell's going on here, but allegedly this guy has a pretty good track record. Like they correctly leaked Persona 3 Reloaded and corroborated some Pirate Yakuza leak from 4chan. And they also predicted the Raido, whatever, remaster that just got shown off in the Direct a few days ago. So, I mean, this could happen. And I think Yakuza did way better than expected on the Nintendo Switch. Whoa, I just tried to say, I tried playing the game on Game Pass and it didn't suck me in. But instead I said, I tried playing it on Game Pass and it didn't suck me. I cut that part out, but now I can't think of anything else. So, yeah, man, what the hell are we talking about right now? I tried playing it on Game Pass. I couldn't get into it. For some reason, I get into games more immersed playing handheld. It's just how I've always been. So, I think it did a lot better on the Switch than expected, and I think it just makes the most sense to bring over all of the Yakuza games to the Nintendo Switch 2. I can't imagine the amount of revenue that they would get just from these games alone. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's start getting into some major Nintendo Switch 2 leaks. The elusive C button. We knew about it. Nintendo showed off the Switch 2 in the reveal trailer. It was not there. Did it exist? Did Nintendo forget that it existed? Or what was going on here? Well, we kind of knew it existed. And then the day the Nintendo News app launched, they showed like some art like on the app homepage, and it showed the C button. Now we have a leak about what the C button is for, and I think we have evidence of that being true. According to X's one source, one of the functions of the C button on the Switch 2 is you'll be able to use it to connect the Switch 2 with the Switch 1, and you can use the Switch 1 as a controller or screen for Switch 2 games. So essentially, baby, the Wii U gamepad is back. Wii U gamepad 2, Wii U 2 pad? This sounds goofy, but also awesome. And I think this might open up stuff maybe to 3DS and DS. I don't know if I would go that far as to saying that's what it's for. I think that's just going to be awesome. Like, we know you'll be able to use Switch 1 Joy-Cons on the Switch 2. Why not just use the whole Switch 1 on the Switch 2? It's like your entire Nintendo Switch 1 will just pair like a controller to the Switch 2. And I think that's just something weird and wacky. And the reason why I was saying I think there's evidence of this is, do you remember this patent right here? We were thinking, what the hell is this? So I don't think this is exactly what I'm talking about, because this looks like this would attach to the Switch 2, like a second screen on top. And I still think this could maybe happen, maybe not. Maybe it's something Nintendo is like tinkering with and thinking about. But at the same time, I think this just kind of supports the evidence of maybe having an entire second Nintendo Switch, or just a second screen some way, somehow utilized with the Switch 2. And it's like, well, if we're not going to build a whole ass second screen accessory, well, we have a second screen already with your Switch. I didn't have a Wii U, and I think I've only played one maybe one time or something in GameStop. But one of the things I think people liked most about it, or what I've heard people like most about it, the way you would use a gamepad with like menu systems. For example, I think when you're playing Zelda Wind Waker, your whole like inventory system and map and everything is down here on the gamepad. And I think that's just really neat, really cool. I think it would be awesome this time around when your Switch 2 is connected to your TV. Maybe they can do it like through Bluetooth or something. You don't have to have it in the actual dock. And if that's the case, you can still use your Switch 2 console or your Switch 1 console and use the screen. So maybe your Switch 2 is docked into the TV and you're using your Nintendo Switch 1 as your controller for your Switch 2, and then you have the menu system on your Switch 1. That actually makes more sense now that I think about it. So yeah, I think this is happening. And then also on the Nintendo app, they now have this animation right here, and it actually shows the C button. So we already seen the same animation, I think, on the Nintendo website, but now it's just updated to show the C button. So it's kind of cool to know that it is there. It's going to have some weird functionality. We'll see how it plays out. Whoa, get it? We'll see how it plays out, the letter C. Man, sometimes your genius just shows, you know? It is what it is. Now, I hope you don't think that's all the Switch 2 leaks and information I have, because it's not. We have even more. Arguably, one of the most important things about this console is actually getting the console. And when I say it's going to have to go this way, I really mean it, because of the current gaming climate and scalpers and botting and just whatever else and the demand. You're going to have to pre-order this console if you want to even get your hands on it for at least the first 6 months after release. Like, it is what it is. That's the way it's going to be. We're all thinking, well, pre-orders are probably going to happen April 2nd. We've seen some leaks from Best Buy Canada saying 10 a.m. I think a couple GameStop saying the same thing. But now we have another update about a different date, so I think it's just worth paying attention to and checking out. Tom Henderson says Switch 2 pre-orders are going live on April 9th. According to the documents from the US retailer, pre-orders are set to go live on April 9th, 1 week after the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. The article also mentions a pre-order bonus. As much as I would like to pre-order on April 2nd, I think this kind of makes sense because it gives people time to watch a Switch 2 presentation and know what's going on. Maybe if you're not watching the presentation on Tuesday and you miss pre-orders that day, maybe you're at work or you have other stuff, maybe you're at school or whatever, that's going to suck for everybody who didn't know pre-orders were happening that day. So if you make it on April 9th, well, then that's a whole week for people to understand, whoa, what's happening on this day? Oh man, I can get my money together, I can figure it out. So I think it's kind of like pro-consumer doing it that way, and it's probably better that way. Obviously, I want it to be April 2nd, because the sooner the pre-order, the sooner the console releases. But if it's a 1 week difference, who the hell cares, right? But regardless, none of this stuff really even matters because we'll know on April 2nd. And that is just days away. I cannot freaking wait. I'm going on a 10-day vacation with like my entire family on April 1st. I need to get to the Airbnb, set up my whole filming thing, and I'm going to be making videos every day while I'm there. I'm going to be streaming, having a lot of fun. And I'm more excited for the Nintendo Switch 2 presentation than I am for vacation. I gotta get my priorities in order, man. But man, I want to play this damn console. And if you made it to this part of the video, I would love for you to join this community. So hit a like and subscribe if you could. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It takes a couple clicks of a couple buttons, maybe 20 seconds, and you could really help this community grow. And you guys know me, I will see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.